Ahoy! Today we're talking about more broken items. Oh, isn't this fun? I absolutely love this. I love taking these things apart. So, we have already talked about a lot of the upcoming starter items over the past few videos, but there's still more. And trust me when I tell you, there's still very exciting stuff in this one. The info for this video was datamined by Daredust. Keep in mind that some of the item names are not linked to the stats, so sometimes the connection may not be accurate yet, but we'll find out in the future. This is all stuff that's being tested for Season 8. For now it's all internally, so we don't know what will make it in the game, but there's definitely stuff to look forward to, no matter what interpretation of it we will actually see on PTS later on. Our first contender for today is Sentinel's Gift. This is a support item, and boy does it have a cool upgrade. So, 75 health, 7 physical protection, 7 magical protection, and 7 MP5. If there's some inside joke about Sentinels and 7 somewhere, let me know. Passive, being within assist range of a minion or jungle camp monster death without dealing the killing blow, awards 7 bonus gold, and also restores 12 health and 6 mana. If you are not near an allied guard for 20 seconds or more, this passive is disabled. Can be upgraded at level 17, not 20. So in many ways this sounds very much like Watcher's Gift. The first upgrade version is Sentinel's Boon. It comes with 300 health, 45 physical and magical protection, and 20 MP5, so very tanky. The passive, assisting an enemy target dying, provides 15 bonus gold and restores 3% of your health and mana. So very much still an upgraded Watcher's Gift, but especially the heal here is pretty massive. It's 18% per wave. The gold increase is also huge, even more than we saw in the hunter items, so this clearly is meant to accelerate you towards very late game once you reach this. This may be part of why you are able to upgrade this a little bit earlier as support compared to the other roles who reach level 20 earlier. And last but not least, there is Sentinel's Embrace, and I absolutely love this one. 200 health, 20 physical and magic protection, and 20 MP5. Sounds low? That's because of the passive. Evenly split 120 physical and magical protection among all nearby allied guards and yourself. If you are alone, you only gain 60 physical and magical protections. So you just chill in lane with your friend and you will have 60 protections of both kinds for both of you. And even if by some circumstance all of your allies are in vicinity, you have 24 protections per target. So this is basically a better Thebes in that regard. I wonder if that means that Thebes will be in the game still afterwards, but that's something we'll have to find out. I think this mechanic is super interesting and unique, especially because you can intentionally walk away from teammates to give a specific ally more protections if they're being focused, for example. Watcher's Gift and its upgrade are still listed in the file, but as of now they're just weaker versions of Sentinel's Gift and Sentinel's Boon, so I'm assuming these will be merged and it's just a new name, so I'm not gonna go over them. It's really just the same thing with the disclaimer that the passive gets disabled if you're away for 20 seconds from any ally. War Flag and its upgrade didn't receive any changes except for a name change to the upgrade, and I already discussed them in my first video in detail, so I will again link to that. We'll briefly go over them though. War Flag comes with 10 physical power, 20 magical power, 100 health, and 10 MP5. The passive is being in range of a minion or jungle camp death without dealing the killing blow, restores 5 health and 5 mana to all allies within 55 units, and also provides allies with a stacking self buff of 1% movement speed and 2% attack speed. Lasts 6 seconds and stacks up to 10 times. The upgrade is now War Banner, and that comes with 30 physical power, 60 magical power, 200 health, 15 MP5, and the passive is being in range of a minion or jungle camp death without dealing the killing blow, restores 1% health and 1% mana to all allies within 55 units, and also provides allies with a stacking buff of 1% movement speed and 4% attack speed. Lasts 10 seconds and can stack up to 10 times. As I already said in that video, this sounds very potent to me. The next item is a new one, and that is Tainted Steel. This item comes with 20 physical protection and 20 magical protection. Passive, enemy guards that hit you have their healing taken reduced by 25% for 8 seconds. Can be upgraded at level 20. This sounds like an Afro counter for solo. If you're tired of playing against Afro solos, that just sit under tower and try to heal themselves up and clear with that. You just stand in the wave and you just make them take less healing or something. This also again indicates to me that we'll be able to build multiple starter items because this seems like the ideal secondary starter. The first upgrade version is Tainted Amulet. 20 physical and magical protection again, and 10% cooldown reduction. Enemy guards that hit you have their healing taken reduced by 60% for 8 seconds. Obviously that's a massive anti-heal value and that is beneficial, but at the same time I gotta say the stats overall in this item seem very weak. If you are a frontliner, then you probably get more out of just building a traditional anti-heal item and getting the additional defensive stats that come with that, because just 20 protections of each isn't really all too much, so I'm not entirely sure if this one is finished yet or if this is maybe missing a stat. The alternative version is Tainted Breastplate. 30 physical protection and 80 magical protection. Now we're talking. It also comes with 20% crowd control reduction. Passive: enemy guards that hit you have their healing reduced by 20% for 8 seconds. You are healed for 100% of the healing reduced. This one is a very strange and interesting passive. Again, better defensive stats here, but the healing reduction itself is relatively low, but then you also get all of it. You're not getting all of the value that the character still heals from what it sounds like, just the reduced part. So essentially you get 20% of their healing, which is still not crazy because they still get 80% in comparison, but it could lead to some very interesting interactions, especially thinking of Cerberus here. It does seem to me that stat-wise this tree is still very much in the works. And the other one that is also completely new is Benevolence. 100 health, 7 HP 5 and MP 5. Passive: you gain 2 gold per 5 seconds and 1 XP per 5 seconds. You gain additional XP 5 and gold per 5 equal to 0.5 times your level. So at level 10 you would gain 5 XP 5 and 5 gold per 5. Anytime you would gain experience or gold from slain enemies, you only gain 90% of that reward, sharing 10% with a nearby ally. Can be upgraded at level 17. Obviously a support item that is meant to push whoever you are in lane with and then kind of offset that with the extra gold you're getting. Something that to me feels like you would get it secondary to Watcher's Gift, because supports are already behind enough as is, so you want to have some other ways to keep up. And if that's possible, if you can get both, then it's a very interesting combination. The first upgrade version is Compassion. 400 health, 35 MP 5 and 35 HP 5, that's quite a lot. Passive: damage taken by nearby allies is reduced by 15%, up to a maximum of 100 damage. This reduced damage is redirected to you as magical damage. If this redirected damage would kill you, it does not get redirected. Also, a very interesting unique mechanic that you can actually make synergize with other things, because the damage is coming to you as magical damage. So if you specifically build into more magical defense, you can soak up a lot of damage from allies, because this doesn't seem to have a cooldown, and then reduce that damage by a lot through the magical defense you have, which means magical defense will have an additional benefit, whereas usually physical defense offers a little bit more in general, and that I think is very cool. The damage numbers popping up above your head will be hectic though. The other upgrade version is Animosity. A fantastic band, by the way. 100 health, 7 HP 5 and MP 5. Sounds like they haven't really upgraded the stats for this one from Benevolence yet. Passive: your basic attacks deal bonus damage equal to 4% of your maximum health as magical damage. This effect is doubled against structures. Incredibly interesting, because this item now encourages you to build more health in order to deal more damage. It's also a support item that somehow encourages you to build damage. I do think they will make some limitations for Jormungandr and for Fafnir, because otherwise they would just shred everyone completely. So there's gonna be something put in place so they can't proc it too often or something. But either way, it's pretty cool to me. It's basically a reverse magical Qins Sais, and it can only be built by supports. It doesn't really seem like a support item. We'll see how that works out. Outside of that, we have some other items that are not yet in the game. We have Leather's Cowl, Hunter's Cowl, and Leader's Cowl, as well as Conduit Gem, Archmage's Gem, and Gem of Focus. We have no information about these yet, so we'll have to wait a little bit. And there's one item that is getting changed, and that's Mail of Renewal. This now comes with 300 health, 100 less than before, 15 HP 5, 5 more than before, And more importantly, it has 30 physical and magical protection, but no cooldown reduction. Passive. When hit by an enemy guard, you gain a stack of renewed might. At 5 stacks, you heal for 20% of your max health, and allies heal for 15% of their max health within 35 units. This effect can only occur once every 60 seconds. Kind of like Soul Gem, and kind of forces the enemy to focus the tank early in order to get rid of the effect, or ignore the tank basically. If you proc it at the start before anyone else has lost health, then it's obviously very beneficial. And it also means that the old Mail of Renewal passive is going to go away, the Snowball passive, which I think is probably not a bad idea. In all honesty, I always thought that this item was either going to be too niche or too strong, and I think changing that passive is a good idea. And that is it. We actually finally made it through all of the items. There was a lot to talk about here. Some very interesting stuff. It's very clear that Hi-Rez has a goal here of making things a little bit chaotic, trying a lot of things out, going super experimental, and maybe making some items a little bit more OP as well. But at the end of the day, if everything is OP, then nothing is OP, so it's fine with me. I also have a feeling that while you will probably be able to build multiple starters, you might not be able to build multiple upgraded ones, so you will have to make a choice somewhere. And this choice can in a way contribute to keeping things balanced as well. So while this is it for the Season 8 item updates, we haven't talked about a lot of other info regarding Season 8 yet, which we're going to do in the upcoming days along with some other content. So stay tuned for that, and if you haven't yet, feel free to hit the sub button and maybe the bell so that you will get notified of that too. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you for the next one soon. SLOTH, out.